Hi big besties, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are seeing my face for the first time, hi, my name is Maya and I like to talk about books here on the internet. I am not kidding when I say I just woke up from my rest from work, shall we say, because last night I went to a production of Beauty and the Beast at Gamage, came home by around 11-ish, that's when I was winding down and actually going to bed. Woke up at 2:30 a.m., went to my 11.5-hour shift, came back, took 2 hours of rest, rolled out of bed, got me an Alani Nu, and we're ready to film this portion of the video. Listen, it's July 1st, and this is July's TBR video. The good news of all of this is that I physically played the game of Final FMC, so that portion of the video was already filmed and I already knew what I was going to choose. The unfortunate part was that I had to film the rest of this. But we're here. We have energy. Cheers. And we got books to talk about, so it's a good evening. Let's just get into it. We are participating in 2 readathons. The first is a month-long readathon, Sunrise on the Readathon, and that is of course inspired by the book Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins, and that is hosted by Katie Colson. The second readathon is only a week-long readathon, and it is hosted every single time around this year by Gabby, and that is Summerween. We're going to just dive right into our final FMC game because I am so excited. We finally have a physical game, y'all. What is happening in life? So let us first choose our final girl. Got the Goth, and as you guys can see, this is one of the cards that does not have a back yet. It's okay, it will have a back by next gameplay, guaranteed. That is actually my project for this evening, but we shall see if I actually get that done. Her prompt is to add a gothic horror or book with witchy or occult vibes to your TBR, and her perk is Comfort in Darkness. So when you add a book with a black cover to your TBR, you can add 1 location to your hand for free. This final girl can have 2 locations per game, which is awesome because locations actually help you when it comes down to it at the end of the month for our epilogue phase. I am not going to be strategizing that way just yet. I do have something that would actually fit said prompt, but I also feel like I would have to read it before I could acquire the second location. Meanwhile, also, we would be adding just a second location for, I guess, strategy, but I firmly believe I won't be needing that, as you will see further on in the gameplay. So for her just regular perk of witchy or occult vibes, because that's what we're going with, I have decided to read a rollover book from last month, and that is The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner. Powerful witchcraft, a hunt for sunken treasure, forbidden love on the high seas. Beware the Amalfi Curse. Haven Ambrose, a trailblazing nautical archaeologist, has come to the sun-soaked village of Positano to investigate the mysterious shipwrecks along the Amalfi coast. But Haven is hoping to find more than old artifacts beneath the azure waters. She is secretly on a quest to locate a trove of priceless gemstones her late father spotted on his final dive. Upon Haven's arrival, strange maelstroms and misfortunes start plaguing the town. Is it nature or something more sinister at work? As Haven searches for her father's sunken treasure, she begins to unearth a centuries-old tale of ancient sorcery and one woman's quest to save her lover and her village by using the legendary art of Drageria. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I could be butchering that word so badly. But it is a magical ability to harness the ocean, essentially witchcraft and sorcery over the ocean. And yes, actually, as I was starting to read this, I was questioning if this was leaning towards what could potentially be considered, Greek and Roman myth of the sirens. Actually, so true. It is a thing that is inside of this book, but I don't think sirens are just under that mythology. So yeah, that was very interesting to note and find out. Especially because the first page was literally talking about the magic and how to use said magic, and I will not spoil the rest of it, nor will I gush poetic. Could this magic be behind Positano's latest calamities? Haven must unravel the Almafi curse before the region is destroyed forever. Against the dazzling backdrop of the Almafi coast, this bewitching novel shimmers with mystery, romance, and the untamed magic of the sea. And boy, howdy has it. Also, side note, I did not know that this actually encompassed a lot of the prompts for Sunrise on the readathon. Okay, listen. I am so sorry, but I have no thought, no strategy when it comes to Sunrise on the readathon and final FMC gameplay. I had none. This just happened to cover a multitude of prompts, and I'm kind of here for it. Like, my strategizing side is so pleased that it shows something like this. That is a guaranteed extra points. I'm in love with that. Anyway, so that was our final girl, and now we have to choose, of course, our killer. As you guys can see, I did get me a killer. Boy, howdy is it a killer, especially when you look at all of the prompts involved with our killer here. The Tormentor! And the specific prompt I am talking about is prompt number 3, which was, and I quote read, add a book to your TBR that involves BDSM. What? Absolutely not. So I went with another one, and I went with prompt number 2 actually for our first book, and that was to add a book to your TBR that features hell or other dark dimensions. I went with Stephen King, Pet Sematary specifically, and I am so excited. I know this has been on a number of TBRs, and so I feel ready for this book. So let's even see what this book is about, shall we? The quote at the very top is just what sends me right now. Sometimes dead is better. When Dr. Louis Creed takes a new job and moves his family to the idyllic and rural town of Ludlow, Maine, this new beginning seems too good to be true. Yet, despite Ludlow's tranquility, there's an undercurrent of danger that exists here. Those trucks on the road outside the Creed's beautiful old home travel by just a little too quickly, for one thing. And this is something that I find, like, so out of place for the rest of the sentence, because it talks about the location, yes, but I don't understand how the cars on the road driving by have anything to do with this. That is the thing that literally hooked me. I kid you not. That is my intrigue hook. Don't ask. I don't know either. Those trucks on the road outside the Creed's beautiful old home travel by just a little too quickly, for one thing, as evidenced by the makeshift pet cemetery out back in the nearby woods. I don't even know how that sentence works together. Then there are the warnings to Louis. I said that weird. Then there are the warnings to Louis, both real and from the depths of his nightmares, that he should not venture beyond the borders of this little graveyard. Huh. A blood-chilling truth is hidden there, one more terrifying than death itself and hideously more powerful. So many questions. An ominous fate befalls anyone who dares tamper with this forbidden place as Louis? One of the two. I literally have used those names interchangeably this entire time. Is about to discover for himself. Dot, dot, dot. I want to know why specifically the cat. Why are its eyes golden? Why does it look like the blood is not its own? Why are cars driving by slowly? Why is he now not allowed to go outside of the borders of the pet cemetery that is across from the house, aka anything within the house is beyond its borders? What is going on? So many questions, no answers. That's okay, they're within the book, so we're just gonna have to read the book, right? That's the plan. Now we finally get into rule number 1 for final FMC. On a location space, and how fitting, I think. Maybe, I don't know why I would say this is fitting, but the location that we chose was the abandoned asylum, and the prompt is to add a book to your TBR that involves mental illness or trauma. For some reason, as I was going through my shelves, which are full of mental health rep and characters that go through trauma, tell me why I decided to go with Pan's Labyrinth. I'm laughing because this is a reread for me and I know what goes down. Let me quote read the summary inside of the book. Also, if you're hearing any buzzing, my apologies. I now possess a glucose monitor and it is attached to my phone for data, so yes, that is what the buzzing is. This book is not for the faint of heart or weak in spirit. It's not for skeptics who don't believe in fairy tales or the powerful forces of good. It's only for brave and intrepid souls like you who will stare down evil in all its forms. And quite honestly, I can attest, in all forms. Inspired by the critically acclaimed film written and directed by Oscar winner Guillermo del Toro and reimagined by New York Times bestselling author Cornelia Funk, this haunting tale takes readers to a darkly magical and war-torn world filled with richly drawn characters, including trickster fauns, Pan, murderous men, someone I want to destroy, child-eating monsters, courageous rebels, and a long-lost princess hoping to be reunited with her family. Perfect for fans of the movie and readers who are new to Del Toro's visionary work alike, this atmospheric and absorbing novel is a portal to another universe where there is no wall between the real and the imagined. So true. A daring, unforgettable collaboration between two brilliant storytellers. Very much so. Next up, we had rule number 2. Which got us a victim. And our victim was the skeptic, and the skeptic's prompt is to add a popular book to your TBR to see if it's really worth the hype. Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. Finally, we are getting to this book, and I feel that it is time. Not only are we in a readathon based off of the book itself, I feel like coming off of a lot of good reading months and having some really good heavy hitters, some really, really good reads, I feel like the dauntingness of this world might be a little less for me. It's still gonna be very overwhelming in the best of ways because this world holds a lot of meaning to me. I think it's gonna be worth it. So let's read the summary from the author herself, Suzanne Collins. When you've been set up to lose everything you love, what is there left to fight for? This first sentence gets me every time. As the day dawns on the 50th Annual Hunger Games, fear grips the districts of Pennem. This year, in honor of the Quarter Quell, twice as many tributes will be taken from their homes. Back in District 12, Hamish Abernathy is trying not to think too hard about his chances. All he cares about is making it through the day and being with the girl he loves. When Hamish's name is called, he can feel all his dreams break. He is torn from his family and his love, shuttled to the capital with the 3 other District 12 tributes, a young friend who's nearly a sister to him, a compulsive odds maker, and the most stuck-up girl in town. As the games begin, Hamish understands he's been set up to fail, but there's something in him that wants to fight, and have that fight reverberate far beyond the deadly arena. And you know what's so sad? Is that it did. And he had to wait a quarter of a century before he can see any hope of that being an actuality. And in those years, having to, one, even go through the games, 2, win, probably against unexpected odds because, I mean, hello, the career pack was just a known thing. Having beaten, against all odds, the career pack, being a survivor of a district that is not known for its survivors, having to watch and train others of his district too. I don't think we give enough credit to Hamish. I don't think he was given enough respect at the end of it. Like, of course, we loved his character, and from the movie, he was also a little bit more easy to love and respect, but I think it was never enough for this character that had to endure so much for so long, seemingly at the very end alone. Because, let's face it, there was no one with him by the time it got around to Katniss. There was no one standing by him. No one helping him. And I think carrying that and still showing up, I think that means a lot. A lot more than we ever gave it credit for. I am ready to read this book. I don't know if I can say I'm excited because that doesn't seem the right word for a world like this, but I am ready to undertake whatever journey this book is about to put me on, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. So that was roll number 2 at this point. Oh my goodness. You guys, we got other books. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we had roll number 3. It landed us on the killer space, which is fantastic. That means we finally get to have the killer lose a life once we pick a book for the TBR. So I decided, because I am not touching that BDSM prompt with the 10-foot pole, and it could stay buried, I went with prompt number 1 to add a book to your TBR that features cursed or forbidden objects. I'm kind of taking a chance on this, and you can let me know in the comments. Grimm's Fairy Tales, the illustrated edition from Barnes & Noble. I am hoping and praying, living on a prayer, that there is something in here for that. I'm pretty sure there's a story that involves that. Okay, so, and the thing of it is like, it's not a person, or it's not just the magic itself. It's like, it has to be in the form of an object, so, best guess. Best chance guess is this. The fairy tales of the Brothers Grimm are among the best loved and most famous in world literature. So true. This volume features more than 40 of their best-known fairy tales, lavishly illustrated with line drawings and color plates by Arthur Rackham. Arthur! Not author! My goodness, peas and crackers. Okay, I need another sip of my energy bevy this instant. Whew. That stuff works quick. All right, last but not least, we had roll number 4. Got us on a weapon space, and this is amazing because the next roll after that was the killer. So I didn't even have to choose a book for that prompt, so I'm just not even going to count that roll, but you guys will see that we have offed the killer by having a weapon in our hand, and we're going to use it to attack. And so we got the chef's knife. All of the weapons that we could have got, we got the chef's knife because guess what its prompt is? Its prompt is to add a book to your TBR that is food on the cover. First of all, food on the cover is crazy because it's very specifically not drinks, food on the cover. Very few books have that aren't specifically to holidays and seasons of some kind, which is fine. The only problem is that someone tell my cards that I'm trying to only read off of my physical TBR or off of things that I have already bought, because yes, I did buy some books and there's a book haul coming, but like, I am limited in my options. So I was just like, oh crap, what do I even do? Because I used to own, I think, Winter by Marissa Meyer, that series. I used to own like Cinder and Winter, and that would have been great because there's an apple on the cover. My cell phone hauled a lot of things, and they were a part of it, which now I am instantly regretting because I want to read that series now because everyone is talking so highly about it. So I was very limited in my options, especially when it comes to seasonal reads that aren't Christmas, and so that left me with, I think, literally one option. Yeah, literally, because everything else was flora and fauna, not food specific, and I'm no person that knows about plants that could be ingested. Okay? That's my character for Aurelium Academy. That is not me. So I went with Pumpkin Spice and Everything Nice by Katie Ciccatelli Cook. Pumpkin, that's food. And, oh, pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie on the back. There we freaking go. Lucy Kane hates pumpkin spice lattes. Cannot relate, girlfriend. Cannot relate. My goodness. Which is a problem because A, Lucy lives in the quaint New England town of Briar Glen where everyone loves all things autumn, and B, she's a barista at her mom's coffee shop, Cup of Joe. I love that name. As the first fall leaves descend upon Briar Glen, Lucy and her mom gear up for a busy season. But then, Java Junction, a multinational coffee chain, aka Starbucks. Let me go back, because then the next sentence won't make sense. But then Java Junction, a multinational coffee chain, opens a store literally across the street, home of the world-famous pumpkin spice latte. To make matters worse, it turns out that Jack Harper, the new kid in school and Lucy's secret crush, is the son of the owners. Talk about mixing business with pleasure. Goodness, I love this author and her summaries. I love it. If Cup of Joe wants to survive the competition from Java Junction, Lucy will have to set aside her feelings for the popular drink and Jack to make this the coziest, pumpkin spiciest season ever. And we are done with the game. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Stay so tuned for Summerween Readathon, Sunrise on the Readathon content, as well as just like random mid-year content that I wanted to film after the middle of the year was actually up. Like, I didn't want to do the mid-year book freak out right at the top of, you know, month 6. Now that I've had the entire first half of the year experienced and books read, I feel like I can have more options for answers. So that is kind of the ideology behind that. So hopefully we'll get that filmed, edited, and posted sometime soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed, middle of the month, not the end of the month, but we shall see. And with all of that being said, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I will leave all of the links to all of the readathons and things, and also all of my socials in the description box down below. So if you guys want to check me out on other platforms, feel free to do so. And as always, thank you guys so much for being the absolute best bookish bestie that ever was, is, or ever will be. I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Bye!